Welcome to another edition of 42 Straight Years In. On my crackhead update, Lion Willie and his pretty little girlfriend, they came by. And he said he's got to go take another trip to Mars. And he got this little girl lying with him. She said, and I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll be at home while he's gone. He said, well, I won't be. He said it only take him 24 hours round trip. Got this special space shuttle that he goes up on. And he traveled by time warp, whatever the hell that is. That's how he travels. I told him to bring me a souvenir. I'll take some pictures and bring them back. He said he'll check into it if he don't forget about it. That's my crackhead update. Y'all know what it is. Get your shanks out and let's ride. Yeah, y'all follow me over on Patreon. The link is in the description. I'm having problems with my upload on my Wi-Fi. It's only uploading at 0.9. I did a speed check. It take 10 hours to get something uploaded. And I'm gonna have to change AT&T. I think I'm gonna have to get the business plan. I gotta have upload speed. I need upload, not download. I need to upload. And I got contacted AT&T to see if I can get that changed. Yeah, I'm gonna speak on several things that's been in the comment section. I had one commenter ask me, how did I adjust to the new wave guys that's in prison now, with all the gangs and the modern day violence. They are easy to deal with. They not the smartest inmates at the prison. You know what I'm saying? They not no geniuses at all. Only prison game work on you is because you never heard that version before. It's real elementary. The little game that they run is so elementary. But it's confusing if you ain't never heard that version before, or you've never heard that game. But believe me, it's not complicated at all. And most people I've seen, they just straight up, they could pull all these stunts on the outside, but when they get to the inside, they freeze up. So I kind of understood why some of the old wardens would say, hey, you acted bad on the outside. Why you down here in my office complaining to me about another inmate that's bothering you? If you was on the outside, you wouldn't let that same person bother you. You would take care of it. So take care of it in here. You know, I ain't never saw what was, why the guy had to fear so much. The punishment back in the day was engraved in stone. You basically know the type of disciplinary you get and the prison you was at and whoever the senior warden was. Well, back then, they didn't have all the wardens like they got now. A large maximum security prison in Texas now has 3 wardens. Back then, like Ramsey only had 1 warden, that was Cat. He ran 2 prisons. He ran Ramsey 1 and Ramsey 2. At Ramsey 2, they had had assistant warden. He's at Ramsey 2. His name was Breen. But Cat runs both of them. And now it's totally different. But depends on what type of disciplinary you get. It depends on the type of punishment you get, and it varied from prison to prison. And what you could do under the old system, under this new system, you tried any of that, man, they're gonna probably get you sent to death row. Just to be honest, you probably end up on death row. They not gonna allow all this uncontrolled violence. They not gonna allow it. And you sure couldn't tell a warden to his face under this new system that you gonna harm another inmate or a guard, I guarantee you won't see you. You might can say that, but you won't get away with it. You're gonna receive disciplinary. I've been at a prison where they charge you if you out up there playing basketball and you would break your finger or break your hand. When you got into the infirmary, if you didn't report that immediately, they would charge you with fighting an unknown inmate. And that disciplinary case would stick. They don't even have to find the other inmate. I've seen a lot of prisons. They better not see you with a swole lip, a black eye. Better not see you with none of that. You're going to get charged. You're going to have to explain to them, how did you get your lip busted? And they're going to call medical and see, have you been in medical? And you say, hey, I got hurt out on the basketball court. Guy accidentally airboat me. They're going to see, have you been in medical, and told them that same thing. If not, you'll receive a disciplinary for fighting with an unknown inmate. Now, it depends on what prison you're at. Depends on whether they use that or not. It varies from prison to prison. Each warden run a prison unit totally different from the next ward. They are not the same. Some of these prisons look the same, but they are ran totally different, and the inmates are totally different. Now, when you came to prison under the old system, well, I can't speak on Ferguson or Clemens, where the youngsters was at, because I started out at Eastham, where it's old, hardened criminals at, not no young first offenders. Now, these guys, they really wouldn't bother you. They'd wait till you do something, then they'll see how you respond to it. You might get in a trap, and they'll just sit back and watch. Because number one, they didn't know who you know. You might have an uncle. He been locked up 20 years. He's at that prison. So this guy giving you a hard time when you do get to meet your uncle. You tell him, hey, man, I live down here on this cell block, and this guy here, and he comes down there with his buddies. Now it's a different ball game. Now you finna meet a hardcore guy. They see you pull that same shit on him that you pull on this young guy or this new guy who just came to prison. So those guys were smart. They'll sit back and wait till you do something dumb. Then they'll take advantage of it. Depends on how you handle it. Now, under the new system, if you a guy that put in, like youngsters will say, a lot of work, it's going to be some inmates know about it. Now, occasionally, I've been at a Pulaski unit. And Pulaski unit houses a lot of young guys. It got some old guys there too. But it houses a lot of young guys. And these guys got a lot of time. I mean, a lot of time. A lot of life sentences. A lot of 99 years. They got all that at Pulaski. That's the home of Texas Death Row. And we got a lot of gang members. Now, they had Friday night fights. When I was at Robinson, same thing. They had Freaky Fridays. Now, they exempt the old guys. 45 and above, you ain't got to catch the square with no one. You exempt. Now, I've seen guys from other states complain about older guys get assaulted in the Texas prison. They don't bother the old guys. It's going to be somebody step up is going to stop that. They ain't going to allow it. And I know I got some old school homeboys, you ain't going to bother them, no way. They're going to take care of you. They're going to send your ass to the morgue. That's where you going. I guarantee you won't go in there and rob them. You won't do none of that. They ain't going to tell the warden, nobody. You going to leave out that cell block screaming, begging for your life. That's what's going to happen to you. Now, occasionally, on Friday night fights, I would go out there with the youngsters. I've said it before, I got my gloves with the steel in it. Whoever I select to fight, I'm going to win anyway. It's a wrap. I was in good physical shape. I'm not in good shape now. I'm not worth for shit because I don't even work out no more. But then I stayed in good physical shape. So in a doubt of my mind, say I'm not going to beat this youngster up. I would do that occasionally just to stay relevant. Because they hear so much about you and all the moves you made in the past, but some guys have never seen that. You know, they listening at it. Then they look at you as an older guy, gray hair. They be saying, oh, man. So occasion, you got to show them, hey, dude, I really can do all this for real. I really can. Now, you won't have a lot of problems if you leave the drugs alone, no homosexual activity. It's a lot of things, you know, even the female guards. You got to watch which one of those you deal with, because it might be another guy. He's shooting at that same female guard, or he's already warned her. And you come along. I've seen a lot of guys get assaulted for masturbating on a female guard. If she not feeling you, and she give you a heads up, hey, I'm not the one. I advise you to leave her alone, because she can make it happen. It only take a pack of cigarettes, man, and you history. You be in a live flight helicopter. A pack of cigarettes is all it'll take. You know, or she called her old man over there, and he come over there with some of his homeboys, and they beat the brakes off of you. That's something under the new system. Is very few guys get out in that water head up. I see why a lot of them join the game. I'm looking at him, I said, boy, if you was under the old system, what would you do then? You had to get out there by yourself. And you better hope one of them guys is cool with you. You getting stomped out, and he might say, hey, man, homeboy had enough, man. You better hope you cool with somebody where they'll say that. If not, it depends on where you fighting at. If you inside the building fighting at one of the old prisons, they had rules. A guy go down, you can't stomp him, can't kick him, can't do none of that. Now it's a different. When you went out there in the fields to work, those field guards, they didn't give a shit about you getting stomped. You get your teeth kicked out there. Two different type of fights. And you could fight a long time out in the field. You can rouse all that go out there. So if a guy got tired, I didn't use that technique once. Me and a guy was fighting, boy, and this guy, he had something. Man, he had some thunder in his hands. I had to stay out of range of it to keep from getting my ass knocked out. So I prolonged the fight because I'm young and in good shape. I'd keep him fighting, keep him missing, and weaving, keep him missing to take some of that power away from him. When I finally see him huffing and puffing, I say, now it's a wrap. Then I took it to him. You could prolong the fight, where inside the building you was fighting, you couldn't do that. It's going to be no long-ass fight. It's going to be over with. The average fight was going to be over with. It depends on if you was fighting in gloves or you fighting with bare fists. It depends on, then it got a lot to do with what cell block you was fighting on. There was a lot of factors involved. You was going to have to adjust to your environment. But you was going to be out there in that water by yourself. Now, as soon as they get into a squabble, they always talk about, I used to look at some of these guys, I say, man, you would have a husband under that old system. As soon as you get a problem, I'm going to talk to my homeboy. I'm looking at you, come on, man. You would have your husband. If you had to work out in them fields all day and get in that afternoon and you and a dude had a problem, you tired from all that work, because it depends on how long you've been locked up. You might not be in good shape. You might smoke cigarettes while your wind is short. And this guy take you out there and beat the brakes off of you. There's no homeboy that's going to save you. It's some dudes that's going to save you. They's going to be your husband. That's who was going to save you. Now, as soon as they get a problem, I'm going to tell my homeboy. I'll be looking at say, man, is it anybody, a man, can take care of their own business? So to me, all these new wave shit, I don't see nothing about them impressive. Now, they dangerous as hell. You can get your ass killed. You know, it still is a prison. It's just a different style prison. Now, if you've been locked up a long time, most problems, you can see it coming a mile away. So most of the shit you don't even deal in, so you ain't gonna have no problems. Now, I've seen some old schools that's straight up stupid. Now, he gets all type of shit. Because now, if you assault guys, depends on the prison, you will be indicted for it. Some prison love to indict you. They'll ask the inmate, you want to file charges on him? If that's a sorry ass dude and he say yes, you just got assault charges filed on you. And you know, it got a lot to do with how much time you got. You serving a 99, 75-year sentence, 50-year sentence, you just got there 2 or 3 years on it. Dude, you ain't got nothing to lose. You can go for the gusto. I ain't never understood why no guy got a lot of time would let a guard or inmate mess over him. I never could understand that. I be saying, what? You have nothing to lose. You're a walking dead, man. You don't even know it. You ain't going nowhere. Your parole officer not even born yet. So what are you worried about? You know, fear is a hell of a thing. Fear can keep you alive. You know, but most guys under the new system, they all gonna try to posse up along gang lines, along racial lines for protection. Where under the old system, you had to get out there on your own and take care of your business. Now, if you was at a prison where it's older guys, like I've said before, those guys really, like at Ramsey, they really wouldn't bother you. They'll just wait and see when you have a conflict with Captain Bad, how you gonna handle that conflict. If Captain Bad get on your ass with that whip and go to running that horse all over you, dragging you out in the field, you go to screaming like a girl. They didn't expect you to win. They expect you not to cry and beg like a girl. That's what they expected out of you. They didn't expect you to win because it's impossible. You had, under the old system, you got the inmate guards. It was virtually impossible to beat these guys. There's too many of them. Everywhere you go, they got them. Everywhere you go, they got them. When you out in the field, they got them. When you get in, they got them. When you go in the shower, they got them. Everywhere you go, child hall, everywhere, they got them. They never expect you to win. But a guy expect you not to scream like a woman. I've seen so many guys holler for mama. God, please, I won't do it no more. Man, no, they don't respect you like that. They expect you to take your licks. Give the best you can and take your licks. No screaming and no hollering. I've seen some guys get the brakes beat off of him. He didn't say one word. He fought the best he could, but he lost. He lost bad. But he didn't beg. He didn't cry like a woman. You know, it's no comparison between that system and this system. You can't compare it. Comparing a peach to a pineapple. It's totally different. The mindset was totally different. The rules was totally different. And there wasn't no game. It was all head up, fade by yourself. If you could handle it, that's why there was some guys that were super bad. These guys can hold their own. I've seen some guys, man, they way worse than one of these prison gangs. Just one man. One man. He got more nuts than all the prison gang got. Just one guy. I've seen one guy could do more shit than a whole prison gang could do by himself. And like I've said before, if they had the old solitary system, it wouldn't even be no gang members in Texas prison. They want to put them in solitary confinement. Get rid of the ad seg and go back to the old solitary. They'll be biting them gang tattoos off of them. I guarantee you that. Out of all the gang members in Texas, over 5,000, some of them locked up, it maybe 100 could handle that old solitary system. It maybe 100 can handle it. Feed them a teaspoon of beans, a teaspoon of turnip greens, and a couple slices of carrots twice a day for 15 days. Then let's talk about it and see what kind of game you're going to be in. You got it easy. Ad seg is easy. If you make level 1, you got commissary, you go to rec every day, you got your radio to listen to, you got books to read. Put them in the old solitary where you got nothing but a little small Gideon Bible and a little jumper suit on and a little blanket about 4 feet long, and that's it. And starve your ass, and let's see how much gang member you'll be. I guarantee you'll be trying to bite that gang tattoo off of your ass, because you can't hang. This shit is easy now. It ain't nothing. It's all psychological. It was psychological then, but they wasn't playing no games with you. They didn't have no federal courts overseeing anything. Texas prison did what they wanted to do, and they got away with the shit. Been doing it over 100 years, and they was getting away with it. All these guys lost their life in Texas prison. Not one warden or one guard got indicted or fired for none of that. I've seen so many guys get assaulted, and not one guard lost his job. That shit wouldn't even fly under this modern system. They wouldn't even fly. So many guards been fired and indicted and imprisoned themselves. Man, my likes was up on my other video. I don't want to have to put my shank on your ass, man. Like the video. Get off the bullshit. Because I will cut your ass. Like and subscribe. And I thank you for watching.